When I read The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo the first time, it was because the producers had given it to me to consider it for making a movie out of it. So of course I read it in a different way than anybody else. And I was expecting to read a normal Swedish crime story. But I thought that Larsson's book was totally extraordinary and very different. And what attracted me to it is that not only it has a really good plot, but it's really a character-driven drama as much as it is a thriller. So I see it as much as a drama mystery kind of book. And you know, it has all the known identifiable things that you want from a thriller, like and it's nearly a Agatha Christie kind of plot. The old family up north, filthy rich, dark secrets in the closet, and classic investigating character. Michael Blomkvist is a journalist and trying to find out this mystery. And then when it really raises itself up levels is when Lisbeth Salander's character comes in. She's totally unusual, and unusual for the whole genre. And she infuses this dark energy and broken past and all those elements in that makes the novel larger than its genre. And that's when I really knew I'm gonna have to make this film. I could truly say about the casting, I was a nervous wreck. I was sleepless. I came to Stockholm and I couldn't sleep. I was in this hotel room and I thought, this is not gonna work. How do you cast Lisbeth Salander? And I actually had my hopes for Noomi. I had seen a picture of her and I have seen a cut from a previous film and I knew she was a strong actress. And Noomi hates to hear this, but I was afraid she was too goddamn beautiful. And I said, how can I make this woman ugly? And then she came to rehearsal. I think she was the second one to come. I really thought Lisbeth Salander was going to be my Waterloo of casting. It was going to be totally difficult. And then I worked with Noomi for 2 hours. And when we had worked for 2 hours, I was totally convinced that she was the one that was going to play it, and we would find a way to you know, to take some of her beauty away. I don't know if we succeeded about that. Noomi certainly signaled to me that she would do anything, you know, to transfer herself into that character, cutting her hair, all piercing, all that kind of stuff that was necessary. But I think the most important thing about Noomi is that she has, in her interpretation of Lisbeth Salander, she has a really strong, dark energy.
When I read The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, when I finished it, I was totally obsessed with Lisbeth. I loved her, and I immediately began to read the second one. So I think I was in the Millennium world for a couple of weeks, you know, totally obsessed. Well, I did a lot of preparation for the role. I think I was preparing for 7 months before the shootings. I learned, I exercised a lot of kickboxing and Thai boxing, and I put myself on a certain diet because I wanted to be a bit more skinny. I want to be a bit more boyish. But I think that the most important and the most difficult part is always the, emotionally and the mental part. And I think I always try to use myself as much as I can. So it's more like I have to dig for myself and in a way translate it into the character. And because I don't like to pretend things. So I try to do everything for real as far as I can. It's always much more interesting if something is complicated. And when it's like some kind of clue that you have to, find out. I like when I read a script and you don't really know what's going to happen. So it's always much more interesting for me and a bigger challenge to go into something that is a bit more complicated and because, happy, lovely, normal people is not so fun to play.
Because Larsson didn't only write a book, he also wrote a social critique of Swedish society. And it was very important for me, as I know it was for Noomi when we got to know each other to do this work, that we upheld this in the film too, that we have a film that not only is entertaining but also dares to be edgy and handle this subject of violence against women. I hope that when the American audience go to see this film, I hope that that they see a vision come through on the screen that's an entertaining and provoking story from the Scandinavian countries. I hope that they talk openly about the problem of violence against women, because that's certainly a problem that America has in the same magnitude as we have in Scandinavia. And a lot of times this is just not dinner conversation for the middle class. And I think that with this film, it had shown that people discussed a lot about this film. They talk about it afterwards, discuss the characters, discuss the controversialness and all that. And I think that these subjects that was dear to Larsen to bring to the table, which it also is for us, that he managed to do that, and we managed to take that one step further with the film. So if that happens, and I think that would happen, that would be just fantastic.